Good evening everybody. In this very special two-part episode, we asked some of the most loyal and dedicated fans to share their thoughts, favourites, opinions and more on Guitar Hero Buckethead. Bucket Bots Unite! Woo! How or when did you first hear of Buckethead?
I first heard of Buckethead on Guitar Hero. Back when I was crazy about rock music and video games. I had heard the name, but I was very unaware of who he was and what he did, and I did enjoy playing Jordan a lot when it was on Guitar Hero.
Pretty much the same for me. My nephew had played it one day and he was an expert at it, and it instantly caught my attention. And again, I just knew him by name, and for some reason, I never really bothered to look up more about him back then. Wish I would have.
And I heard about Buckethead in 2005. I was introduced to him on a YouTube video just for a quick second. A couple days later, I heard his music coming from another room, and it was mesmerizing. It ended up being Machete. Then my friend showed me the interview of Destroy All Monsters that was put out in 1996 by Guitar Player magazine, and I was meat hooked.
So I first heard of Buckethead because of Primus. A lot of my musical taste comes from my father, music that he's listened to and I've grown up hearing, such as Guar and of course Primus. Well, I heard about Buckethead being in Primus, but I had not seen him until much later when I owned this Eminem autobiography book. And there was a picture with Bizarre and some other rappers hanging out with someone wearing a blank white male mask and the beanie, and I believe I asked my dad about it and he's like, oh, that's Buckethead, and I don't think it was. I think that may have been a picture from the D12 set where they did a parody of Guns N' Roses and did parody Bucket.
My first exposure to Buckethead was in '95. It was the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. I was a gamer growing up, had to see the movie. Was blown away by the music, went to my local record shop afterwards and bought the CD. Found out that one of my favorite tracks from the album, Goro vs. Art, found out who the guitarist was. Thought the name was very unusual. I thought he was just some studio session player. Had no idea that he had a solo career going.
In 1998, my brother had he had a tape with Praxis Metatron on side A, and Else Do No Hesitation on side B. I got a lot of mileage out of that tape. I was hooked, basically.
First time I ever heard of Buckethead was in 2017. A friend of mine had asked me if I'd ever heard of him, so I had to check him out that night on YouTube, of course, and I've listened to him ever since.
Visit you 4 years ago?
That's very valid. How did I first hear of Buckethead? It was because of Guitar Hero 2, playing Jordan in that game, and then also, it led me to listen to Final Wars, and Jumpman, Callbox, and then it just kind of spiraled out from there.
I saw Guns N' Roses on TV when they reunited, and they played Welcome to the Jungle live on national TV, which was Buckethead's debut into the limelight. Everybody was kind of freaking out while it was happening. And it was crazy because it was a time where we were all kind of glued to our TVs. No one really used social media as much back then. And it was a pretty memorable moment, and I'll never forget when the confetti was coming down.
I first heard Buckethead probably 20 years ago. I was around 10 years old. My sister turned me on to him. She showed me a video on YouTube of Welcome to Buckethead Land. And I was terrified and blown away at the same time.
First time I ever heard of Buckethead was January of 2018, and I've been a fan since. He's awesome.
I first heard of Buckethead in 2006. I was at school during study hall, and I was on YouTube looking up guitar videos, and I came across this related search with Buckethead Night of the Slump.
That one guy stream on Facebook, and from there, I don't know, I just met a bunch of people that had been learning about him for a long time, for almost 2 years now, I think, and I really love him a lot.
It must have been about 1994. my brother was in college and he brought home Praxis Transmutation Mutatis Mutandis, and it blew my mind, and we were instant fans of Buckethead. My first Halloween is Buckethead. I have a picture from 1995. For all the Praxis albums, those first 3 were out already, and I had started collecting Buckethead record Day of the Robot. Must have been the first one that came out solo when I was a fan.
What is your favorite Buckethead song?
My favorite Buckethead song is the closed triptych from Pike 39, hands down. That song just makes me want to just get up and go. Like, every time I hear it, it gives me a lot of energy.
My all-time favorite is Welcome to Buckethead Land, obviously. But my current favorite is Ridge Roll. That song just grabs me and makes me want to move. Love it.
It's got to be Angel Monster. Angel Monster is by far my favorite. Everything about that song. It's beautiful, it's sad, it's just emotional, and something about it draws me in over and over. It's just very like melancholy, but it really hits me at my core. Gotta be my favorite song for sure.
My favorite song would be Nottingham Lace from Answer the Chicken. This is the song that made me a full-time fan.
My favorite Buckethead song is Hornet. Right now, Hornet's what I've been listening to, and I adore it.
Gels, because of the little snippet from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that and Gels is a pretty cool jam. My favorite is Soothsayer. Every time I listen to that song, it's like I'm listening to it for the first time again and again. Every time I see him play it live, I kind of shed a tear a bit because it's my favorite, and it's beautiful, very well played.
If I were to choose a favorite, it would be Whitewash from the album Coma.
My favorite Buckethead song right now is Viewing Deck.
Aunt Susie and New Innocence. They're just beautiful songs.
I'd have to go with Sea of Expanding Shapes or Night of the Slunk. You know, when Night of the Slunk, when the kill switch starts hitting, there's just nothing better than that.
My favorite Buckethead song is Dawn Appears, because that's like the first song. When I heard it, I just really clicked with it. It reminded me of my mom, and I don't know, just from there I was just like, whoa, this guy can make me cry from listening to a guitar. Yeah, this is for me.
My favorite Buckethead song of all time is Puddles. I remember when it came out as a free download on Christmas of 2015, and I remember, the morning, like, listening to it. It's such a beautiful thing.
I think my favorite Buckethead song has always been the Blueprints theme song, which I've never heard him play live, and I don't know why it's not more of a fan favorite. It's so catchy and cool. I like it better than the actual theme song that he wrote for the album later on. And so yeah, Buckethead, bring back the Blueprints theme song.
It would probably be like For Mom, of course, without saying, it's a really sweet song. And also Buckethead's cover of Sketches of Spain. It's a good display of how he can put emotion into his music and express that without having to speak, just through his guitar. And I think that's pretty wonderful.
I think you cheated because that was more than one favorite song. But we'll see.
I can't pick one. Who can do that?
What is your favorite non-Pike Buckethead album?
My favorite non-Pike album would be Crime Slunk Scene. I'll never forget the first time I played Crime Slunk, and that very first note blew the top of my head off. It's amazing. It always makes me smile to this day, every time I hear it. And of course, Soothsayer's on there, which is very special.
Crime Slunk Scene. Soothsayer's on it. Need I say more?
I think maybe Buckethead Land 2 is up there, and also Somewhere Over the Slaughterhouse is a really cool album that I don't think gets enough credit. Close thirds to Cuckoo Clocks from Hell, which is just a brutal, awesome Buckethead album.
Buckethead Land 2.
like by a landslide. I don't know what it is about that album, but I love it. I think the cover artwork is very awesome. The overall feel of the album is great. It's very well written, and I like listening to music. Like if it's an album, I want to listen to the whole album all the way through. And that album is so extremely visual that when I listen to that, I can see Buckethead land. Like it's crazy. Like it feels like you're in the park. It's absolutely insane, but he did a wonderful job on that album.
My favorite non-Pike Buckethead album is Population Override for me. It's just like, it's chill, it gets a little bit funky at times, it's beautiful, it's relaxing, and it's just kind of, it's got a little bit of everything in it, you know, the more smoother side. I like to recommend that actually to people who haven't really heard of Buckethead much, because I find that also to be one of his like more easier to digest styles, because he does so many.
My favorite non-Pike Buckethead album would have to be Giant Robot, being that I discovered Welcome to Buckethead Land on a concert. I had no idea any of his music, so I ended up looking it up and finding that the whole album was really good.
Mine would have to be Coma. There's just something about that, and you all know Coma. It's wicked. Love it.
My favorite non-Pike Buckethead album is Coma. A buddy of mine was huge into Buckethead, and practically forced me to listen to this album. And the first song we listened to was Whitewash. And that's pretty much when I took a running dive into the rabbit hole.
My favorite non-Pike album is Coma, because that's the first one I bought, and it's got that song For Mom on it, and that's the whole reason why I bought it. And it reminds me of my mom, like all these songs do. I lost my mom, and just, I don't know, that's what I feel like connects me to this music and to Buckethead and to pretty much everybody that listens to it.
My favorite non-Pike album is Monsters and Robots.
Albino Slug. I love it. I love the music.
My favorite Buckethead non-Pike album would definitely be Bermuda Triangle. Very underrated in my opinion.
Bermuda Triangle or Albino Slug, also known as Clock and Wise. And currently I've been really down with Spinal Clocks.
The guy ball in the sky because Les Claypool.
And that's a pretty cool album. My favorite non-Pike album is the Elephant Man's Alarm Clock. We have a great mix of, of everything that he can do, the funk, the heavy stuff, the experimental stuff, and also the melodic stuff with Lurker at the Threshold.
What is your favorite Buckethead Pike album?
Pike 82, Calamity Cabin. That album is super heavy, super awesome, great for working out, running, or just easy listening around the house.
Right now, my favorite Pike album would be Pike 212, Hornet. Specifically, Hornet Part 4. This doesn't get any better than that.
My favorite Pike album, I'd have to say Screen Doors, what I've been listening to with Hornet a lot lately.
Cycle, because you always put it on when we go to sleep, so I can't listen to that unless I go to sleep.
That's true. Yeah, that is a awesome Pike. I think my favorite Pike would have to be The Shores of Molokai. The riff in the title track is just so heavy, and I love it. I can never stop listening to it.
The Shores of Molokai. The title track completely blows me away. So yeah.
My favorite Buckethead Pike album is Mannequin Cemetery. When I first heard Mannequin Cemetery, first thought was, wow, this is heavy. It's kind of grew an attachment to that album since.
My favorite Buckethead Pike album is Claymation Courtyard Pike 51. Every song on it I enjoy a lot, and I love the genre of hard rock.
Mine would have to be Pike 3, 3-foot clearance. All the songs are awesome, and I actually bought it at my first concert, not knowing what Pikes were. When we got home and listened to them, the rest is history.
My favorite Pike album, Project Little Man.
Have been number 67 and 68, Abandoned Slaughterhouse and Assignment 033-03. Those to me really hit the spot. And currently, Kanayunktio, Pike 272 is a really good one. It puts me in the total opposite end of the spectrum. Really puts me in a place of zen.
Number 105. I love 105. Smooth. I love the Meltro.
I'd have to say my favorite Pike right now is Mermaid Stairwell. It's just kind of like magical. Like I could see why it's named Mermaid Stairwell. It's got like a bit of a magical feel to it. It's really pretty, lively, and it's just got like an enchanting feel. It's just really cute, and I really like that one a lot. And the art for it's beautiful too. So
My favorite Pike album is 126, which is Tourist, and it has Glowworm on it, which is my favorite song, my favorite jam. I don't know, I always go back to it because it's just really cool to me. Oh, or Pike 95, Northern Lights, which I think everybody loves. It's got Flare on it, and that always gets my attention. No matter what, I'll just stop and start, dancing to it, or gotta move my head and stuff too.
Now, I'm sorry I can't honestly answer this question because even as big of a fan as I am, I still haven't listened to all of the Pikes. I own them all, I bought them, I have the files, and I have the first bunch of CDs when they came out. But I need to get on that. I need to finish listening to them. It's so much, it's so many hours of Buckethead, and I guess to me I just like that there's something new that I can listen to of Buckethead at any time.
If you could see Buckethead perform on stage with any other person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
The one person that we didn't get a chance to see them together is he and Sean Lane. Such beautiful souls together, and their music incredible.
I would have loved to see him go ahead, do some dual guitar soloing with Alan Holdsworth or Sean Lane. Either one of those guys. You can't go wrong with either one.
I would love to see him perform with Josh Slook. I can't even say it, because that is his idol, and I watch his streams every day, and I just think it would be an epic show, and I hope he gets to do that someday. Or John 5, because John 5 is cool too.
John 5. He's another guitarist that I follow. I've been to a few of his shows. He's also amazing. I got to talk with him back in 2009. Asked him if he was aware of Buckethead. He was. He wanted to collaborate with him. He goes to his shows. Still waiting for it to happen. Fingers crossed.
Honestly, the coolest person for him to play with, would be Michael Jackson. Because of the style he can do and how much he really does like Michael Jackson, I think that would be a cool pair to put together.
For me, obviously Michael, but I would love to see Buckethead play with Jerry Garcia with banjos and duel it out for a concert. I think that would be some amazing music.
I'd love to see Buck on stage with Johann Sebastian Bach. That'd be crazy. And Michael Jackson. Really hoping that the Death Grips Instagram photo is legit and there's something going on there. I think that would be amazing. Taylor Swift. I'd get a kick out of seeing how she reacted to him. More realistically, Lorde. I think I have a lot of faith and hope in her future as an artist. But David Lynch would also be killer.
It would be Brain and Maximum Bob. I think that would be a wonderful trio.
I would love to see Bootsy and Buckethead play together. I love Bootsy.
I'd love to see Buckethead play on stage with Travis Dickerson. For one, the two have not played live together so far, and when they get in the studio together, magic happens.
I think Buckethead really works best as a solo act because he does his own thing. Like when he was with Guns N' Roses, they still let him have a lot of leadway to do his own thing. I can't really think of someone, just in general. I don't know. I don't have anybody.
Huh, really? weird because I have somebody I'd like to see him perform with. Hear me out, Ghostman. Hear me out. I know it may sound odd, but I mean, we've heard Buckethead's music. We've heard Death UK. We've heard like the Cuckoo Clocks of Hell. We've heard a few other things where we know Buckethead himself has this like, he can play really heavy sometimes, shreddy, dark and creepy, like he gets that into his music, and so does Ghostman in a way. He has a lot of elements that are similar to that. I think that they would be quite the interesting pair up.
I have my answer, by the way.
You do?
Death Grips. I would love to see Buckethead with Death Grips.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the picture where he was hanging out with Zach. So, like, they've been around each other. They're vibing. They're straight vibing. So, if Death Grips and Buckethead put out some music together, that would fucking work. I'd be down for that.
I'd be there yesterday.
Mrs. Smith. Because we went to see her show and we were talking to her for like a half hour and she said she really wants to shred with Bucket. So.
Yeah, that, and also to watch them two on stage. And Mrs. Smith is an incredible player. And to watch them be, shred on stage together would be a magical moment. I would love to have seen Buckethead and Dimebag Darrell on stage together, shredding. It would have just melted everyone's faces off, and I would have loved to be in the audience when that happened.
I don't know if this is cheating, but it would be me. Buckethead, call me, join my band. I would love to play with you, of course, or just send you things to record guitar over. Be in my band, Buckethead, be my friend, or don't even be my friend, just be in my band, that's cool. I respect the mystique. Now if that's a cop-out answer, I guess my other answer would be my other favorite band is Gwar, and maybe they could have some sort of space guitar battle or team up to fight some monsters. How fucking rad would that be?
And this one's for you, Natter.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
NatterNet.
Oh, the clap. And I am celluloid shot, just plugging myself out there. I'm sure it'll be edited out anyways.
Woo!